back with layout number 6 for the Holiday Project. And if you're not familiar with the Holiday Project, it is a class that I started in November of this year. And the focus is on 12 stories, one album. And these are stories that have not made it into our normal holiday scrapbooking. And so the challenge for this class is to be able to tell really good, robust stories and to really focus on the stories. More information about this class, as well as a price for the class, which is $25, is posted in the description box below, so make sure that you check it out. So for my album, I decided to focus on childhood memories, and so this is layout number 6. There is a playlist for this for those of you who are just joining me, so make sure that you check out the playlist, and you can see the other 5 layouts for this. Now, if you're taking the class, of course, you'll always have access to these via the class site, and I will start uploading those here pretty soon. Now, I'm going to continue to work through this album, even though Christmas is over. Well, I guess almost over. We're about to enter into the new year. I have 6 more layouts that I'm going to do. And what I found is that kind of going down memory lane takes some time. Sometimes I get caught up in stories that mean a lot to me emotionally. And this next story is one of those stories. So this is a picture of my beautiful grandmother, and her name was Catherine. And she went by Kathy for short, and she passed away many years ago when I was probably about 12 years old. And the story is about her red and white apron, and I'm going to title this The Red Apron. My grandmother loved to wear aprons when she cooked. She came from a generation that did that quite frequently, and she was a phenomenal cook. And this is her, and I'm going to say this was probably back in 1981, maybe 82. I'm going to say probably late 81. And so I was just born. We're having Christmas over at her house, and I remember her in subsequent years wearing this apron whenever she cooked family meals. So I want to go ahead and share this story with you. Okay, sorry about that. There's a little background noise. My family is being a little loud. That happens when you're trying to record. And it's Christmas break, and the little one's not at school, and the big one's not at work, so, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so here's the story. Grandma Kathy was one of the sweetest grandmas in the entire universe. We were extremely close, and I often wonder what life would have been like if she was still around. One of my fondest memories of her was when she would adorn an apron while preparing a big family meal. She would make each dish with love, skillfully roasting turkey and duck, mashing creamy potatoes, boiling greens. So very good. In her apron, she was the iron chef of her kitchen. After she passed away, I inherited 3 of her aprons, one of my favorite being her red and white apron that she was wearing in this picture. It is stored somewhere, and soon I will pull it out and give it a good washing and wear it every now and then, mainly to feel connected to her. I miss her so much. And I was very close with my grandmother. She was my best friend. My mother would tell me that when we came back to the States, I was born in Germany, and when we came back to the States, she would say, this woman just came up to me and just grabbed you, and you guys were instant friends. And my mother hadn't seen my grandma in a while, and I guess maybe she had changed just a little bit. And so she didn't recognize her right when she came up to grab me. And I was only probably about a year, almost 2 years old when we came back to the States. So we were quick, fast friends quite immediately, and had all kinds of adventures together. And I love her so much, and I still carry her in my heart to this day. But I have this apron somewhere, and I want to say it's probably stored away with some childhood mementos, and I plan to get it out. Hopefully one day soon when we move. We're going to be moving potentially this summer, so I'll be getting those things out. And I want to find the apron and wash it and wear it every now and then. So anyway, so that is the story of the red and white apron. I'm going to speed up the video so you can see the entire layout come together. Okay, I'm going to start with a piece of white cardstock, and I typed up the journaling on the cardstock. And I'm going to switch things up just a tiny bit later because I kind of flub. I'm going to use a black piece of cardstock to mount the white piece of cardstock on. And of course, I'm going to mount my photo on some white cardstock as well to give a little bit of presence. I'm going to trim up that white paper, and what's going to happen is I'm going to mount it on the black cardstock, and then I'm not going to leave a whole lot of room at the bottom, so it looks kind of weird. I'm going to attempt to pull it up, and then I end up ripping the white cardstock with the journaling, so that's okay. I just print it out again and then keep going. All right, so I'm going to use these tags that I was kind of fooling around with not too long ago when I got my LE Studio dated stamp set, and I think I showed that in the last video. I love that stamp set, and I was making just a couple of tags just to play around with it. And then, of course, I made one for my December Daily album. So I decided just to use those that my little practice tags there on the layout. Now, for the title, I'm using 3 font stickers. The first one is a Mini Market blue and cream font sticker from October Afternoon. Those are some of my favorite little Mini Market stickers. The red one is a Thickers font, and that is called Journal, and then the white one is called Imprint. Now I'm pulling out some pattern papers from American Crafts 6x6 paper pad, and I'm going to use maybe 2 of those papers down the road, but initially I thought I would use the little Christmassy looking one. Well, it's all Christmas. The one with the Christmas stockings and the ornaments. And some of the other papers, and I decided against it. I wanted something a little bit different. So I grabbed another 6x6 paper pack. I got this at Target in the Target dollar spot. And actually, this pack is made by American Crafts, which is why the quality is so good. So I'm going to pull this gray paper. I'm going to trim it down. And what I want to do is just add a bit of layering to that photo. The photo is printed 3x4. So I'm going to go ahead and add the tag, and then I'm going to add the gray polka dot paper, which I love. I'm kind of hoarding a bit because I really love gray. I'm going to trim that out. And while I'm trimming that out, I'm trying to decide which other paper I want to use. Okay, so I think I'm going to use the black one. That looks good. Add some adhesive. And sometimes when I'm layering, I don't really have a plan. I just grab papers and cut and trim until it looks good. So there we go. Trimming that out. And I think I like that. Now I cut the other tag and place that to the left-hand side. That's going to switch up just a bit because I'm going to decide that the white was just a little bit too stark. I'm looking at some embellishments, trying to decide what I want to do next. I'm going through all of my stuff there. And you know what? I probably should have bought more. I know that sounds weird, but I kind of got bored with some of the things that I have because a lot of it's, from last year. And so I kind of got a little bored with it. Okay, so let's see. I decide that white was just a little bit too stark, as I said. So I'm going to get some pattern paper from the 6x6 pack that I pulled a little bit earlier. And then, of course, some of that gray and white polka dot, and add a couple of strips there to the left-hand side to add a bit more interest. Then I want to do something with that tag. So I'm going to trim it down, and I'm going to tuck it in to those strips. So there we go. So that mimics nicely with the other tag by the photo. Now I need something on the right-hand side of the photo because it feels just a little bit lost there. So I'm going to cut up a bit of that beautiful pattern paper with the poinsettias on it. Looks really pretty. Add a bit of red there. That'll go along with the red in the apron. Now I want to do just a bit of embellishing. So I take this star and this rubber charm that says remember this, and that rubber charm is not going to stay, but the star is, and that's from my Allie Edwards kit from last year. I want to add a little paper clip there because they're my favorite, and I've had them in my Christmas stash for probably 4 years now. I have not gone through them. I absolutely love them. I'm going to add a little bit of foam there to the back to elevate it a bit so it doesn't look wonky there to this at the top corner. Trim that up. And there we go. That'll work. Okay, so now I'm going to focus my attention on that star. Now, at first I thought I was going to emboss it, but at that point I didn't have any new embossing. I didn't have a new embossing pad, which I do now. And I didn't want to go through the trouble of doing that. So I'm going to cut it up. Love altering my embellishments. I'm trying to be a little bit gentle so it doesn't crack that wood veneer star there. I'm going to add half of that to the left side of the top tag, and then there at the bottom left, just to add some interest. And I guess that would have been cute if I embossed it in like silver or maybe a glitter, like a white glitter embossing, but I like the wood veneer. I think it looks nice. All right, so I'm adding some Tombow Mono liquid glue to that, multi-purpose glue, to hold that in place. Now, that wood veneer did crack just a tiny bit, so I had little remnants of wood veneer that did not stay on there, but that's okay. It wasn't the cleanest cut in the world, but it'll work. So I'm going to tuck that right a little bit underneath that tag to hide the rough edges. Hold that down, and I think that looks good. Now I'm trying to decide what do I want to do next. So I grab a couple of embellishments. This little puffy circle that says 25, or 25th rather. That's from the Snow and Cocoa collection from this year. And then I grabbed some little stars that I heat embossed, I guess a couple of layouts ago, and I didn't use because I didn't like them, but I thought, hey, they'll work fine here. I have this little cut apart or die cut rather. It says Holiday Memories. I'm going to stick that there to the left-hand side along with a little sparkly star. Trying to decide where I want that third star to go. Because I didn't really create a third cluster, but I'm going to slightly here in just a second. I'm going to add the stars on with some of that Tambomono multi-purpose glue. Hold those down so they'll stick. And I'm going to put that third little star there to the right side of the title. So far the title says The Red White Apron. I'm going to change that up here in just a second. So I'm thinking I'm going to add a little bit more of the little puffy stickers. I decide against that. Nope, that doesn't work. I'm going to lay it down. I thought I would put "and" in the middle of that, but I changed my mind. All right, what am I going to do now? Okay, so I grab a piece of red pattern paper and my tab punch, which I love. And I've been using a lot of tabs in my holiday layouts this year. So I'm going to position that tab actually to the right-hand side of the photo, but I don't know that yet because I'm trying to think of whether or not I want to keep it at the bottom. Then I see this little cut apart from my LE Studio sheet of cut aparts, and it says The Story. And I like that so much, so I'm going to put that there at the very top of the journaling, and then I'm going to get rid of the word "the." So the story just reads Red White Apron. And of course I put the story there to call attention to the journaling. I guess I could have put like the story of the red white apron, but that was a little too much. All right, so now I'm going to add that tab that I cut with my tab punch along with a little bit of that foam tape. And that is going to be a spot where I put the year here in just a second. I like that. That looks good. Okay, so now I said, hey, I need another star. So I grabbed another one of those embossed stars that I made a couple layouts ago and put that there, and that's going to serve as my third little clustering. And of course, a layout could not be complete without washi tape. I felt that the page needed a little bit of something, so I grabbed some washi tape. This is from my Allie Edwards kit from last year. That is a star, like a silver star washi tape. And it's almost gone. I've been using it so much. All right, and then a little bit at the top, trying to decide how I want to position it. I get there, I'm going to trim that up and tuck that little bit right behind that white cardstock. And I think I'm going to call this good at this point. Yep, add the year, pointing to that 1981. And yeah, layout is done. Love this story. Love that picture. My grandma was so pretty. And love that apron. Can't wait to find it and wash it and wear it. All right, guys, some photos are coming up. If you want some more information about the holiday project, make sure you check out the description box. And by the way, if you like this video, if you like any of my videos, make sure you hit thumbs up. There's also a little bell icon if you want to be notified of when my videos are posted. There's something different that YouTube has been doing lately. If you haven't been seeing my videos, make sure you click on that little bell icon so you get notified of when my videos are posted, and please make sure you hit a thumbs up if you like the video. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.